Well, good morning. This is Larry, the carnivore pensioner, and it is breakfast time. So today I wanted to just show you what I cook for breakfast and what some of the possibilities are. I'm calling this video the ultimate breakfast guide for carnivore beginners. So if you're starting carnivore and you're wondering what you're going to have for breakfast, well, this video is for you. We're going to be talking about, pardon me, we're going to be talking about some of the possibilities that you have for breakfast. Now, some people on carnivore don't have breakfast. They leave their eating till later in the day, but for myself, I have breakfast each day, usually about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have a second meal about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I usually have breakfast. Now, when we start to talk about breakfast, of course, we're going to start talking about good old egg and bacon. And I don't need to give you a recipe or a cooking video on how to cook egg and bacon because I'm guessing you probably already know. But just think of the incredible diversity that you can have with eggs. How many different ways you can do them. You can scramble them and you can boil them and fry them and poach them, and so many different options with eggs, and they're all beautiful. Actually, a lady in my Facebook group yesterday, Marnie Mac, put up a photo of her eggs, and she had some scrambled eggs with a fried egg on top, as you see here in her picture. So there are endless possibilities with egg and bacon, and that's a fantastic breakfast on carnivore. But today I wanted to give you just 3 or 4 more recipes that you might like to try. Some of these are still incorporating egg and bacon, but all of these are in my recipe book that is available online as a PDF, and that book has got 50 recipes in it, as well as a 14-day meal plan and a shopping list. But included in all of those restaurants is restaurants. Did I say restaurants? Recipes. I'm having a good morning, aren't I? Included in those recipes is 10 recipes that are specifically for breakfast. So I'm going to do 4 of those for you today. Now, I don't have one of those fancy multi-camera setups to film this, so you won't see my face, but you'll see the food, and that's probably more important, isn't it? Anyway, what we're going to do, I'm going to start with recipe number 1, and this is a very simple dish. All of these dishes are very simple, actually, and this is what we call egg muffins with ground beef. So I've got some little muffin pans here, and what I've done is that I have just got some ground beef, and put it in a fry pan and just cooked it a bit. And so I take this ground beef and I put a little bit in each muffin tin, something like that. And then it's very simple. We just take I've got some whipped eggs here, and I just pour that over each one. They look something like that. So they're ready to pop in the oven. I put them in the oven for about 20 minutes, and when they're nearly cooked, you could put a little bit of cheese on top to give it some cheese effect, a little bit of browning on top if you want. So I'm going to put those aside, ready to go into the oven. But while we've got the oven going, I also want to put in a carnivore quiche, which is our recipe number 2 today. So for the quiche, I've mixed up a mixture here. Now, this is a bowl of mixture, and I'll tell you what's in there. I've put in there about 1 cup of heavy cream. In Australia, we use this Paul's cream, and I picked that one because it's the purest cream. It hasn't got any added extras in, which so many of the creams do here. So a cup of cream, and then I put a cup of cheese, shredded cheese in there. So I've got my mixture here of the cream and the cheese, and I'm going to do what I did before with the mince, but this time I've got some bacon bits, and I've got a little quiche dish here, and I'm just going to put the bacon bits into the quiche dish like that. And then all I'm going to do is very neatly, without making a mess hopefully, pour the quiche mixture over that. A few drops on the bench, but that's all right. So here we've got our two muffins here, and we've got our quiche. I'm going to put those in the oven for about 20 minutes on about 180, or what's that in Fahrenheit? I'll put it on the screen and see how they come out. So there we go. I've just taken them out of the oven. They were in there only for about 20 minutes. So over here we've got the two little bacon muffins that I made, and on this side is the carnivore quiche. It came up quite high and it's gone down a little bit, but I put a little bit of cheese on both of those just to give them a bit of flavour on top, and so they would be ready to serve. Carnivore pancakes. Now these are, again, like everything on carnivore, very, very simple. All I've done is I've taken some two eggs, and I've put in some cream cheese, about 60 grams of cream cheese. Make sure you read the label when you buy that you're not getting any nasties. And all I'm going to do, we've put a pinch of salt in there as well, and all I'm going to do is put them in the fry pan or the skillet over a good heat and just give them probably about 90 seconds, 2 minutes aside, if that. It's a very thin mix, so they're going to cook very quickly. And there we are. Now I've just made a couple of small ones here because there's only two of us for breakfast and we've got to eat all of this food, of course. But you could make them much bigger, but I've just put them in the fry pan, a couple of minutes on each side, if that. Probably only about 90 seconds, truth be told, but you could make them bigger than that, and you could mess around with different flavors. If you do have some herbs, or if you do have any thing like that, you could add those. But these are just good old basic carnivore pancakes, and they are always delicious. I put a knob of butter on top just for a bit of extra flavor. So that's the carnivore pancakes. Now the last thing I'm going to make for breakfast this morning is what we call a tallow omelet. Tallow is just a beef fat that you can usually buy at the supermarket, or you'll probably get a better quality if you go to your butcher. Hopefully you will. But just beef fat, and I put that in the pan. It adds not only something to cook in, which is far better than the seed oils we used to have, but it also adds quite a delicious flavour. So all I've got here is just a couple of eggs and a pinch of salt that I'm going to mix up. And I'm going to put these into the fry pan once the tallow is melted, and just pour the mixture into them and let it run to the edges. And after it starts to take shape, I'll fold it in half so it becomes like a folded omelette, if you get what I mean. I'll show you in a moment. Now all of these recipes today, as I said earlier, are in my recipe book, and I'll leave a link down below in the description to the recipe book. Now, while I've got this video running on YouTube for this week, and we've got the one I did last week on carnivore snacks, if you missed that one, it's just last week's video, I'm going to reduce the price of the cookbook down from $7 right down to $3.50. That's Australian dollars. So even cheaper for those in America to have a better exchange rate on Australian dollars than we do. But they are all there, and you can go onto line and grab a copy of the cookbook. As I say, it's got 50 recipes in it, and there are 10 different breakfast recipes, 10 different snack recipes. There's lunch recipes and dinner recipes and all sorts of things there. 14-day meal plan and a shopping list. So have a look for that. I will see if that tallow omelette is ready to go. So there we go. That's my tallow omelette. Very simple recipe. Look, everything on carnivore is simple, folks. You should be understanding that by now, but the whole of the carnivore lifestyle is incredibly simple. Not just cooking, shopping is simple. Meals are simple. Cleanup is simple. The whole lifestyle on carnivore is incredibly simple. And so this was another simple recipe. We're going to sit down and have our, let's see what we've got. We've got our egg and bacon muffins. We've got our carnivore quiche, we've got our carnivore pancakes, and we've got our tallow omelette. So we're going to have a good breakfast. But look, thanks for watching today. If you missed my earlier video on snacks, I'll leave a link to it just up above. But thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video, and until then, keep cooking and keep telling your story. Bye for now.